Hey, what up, everybody? In this episode, you're gonna hear a double feature. We're gonna do episode 53 and 54. I know in the last one we say 53, but in reality it's 54, so we'll make the correction going forward. All right, enjoy the episode. Peace.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Difficult to Please podcast, episode 52.
3. Is it 2 or
Fuck.
3? I don't know.
I
Facts don't matter.
oh, shit. I think we're on 53. You're right. My bad. Fuck. It's been,
I don't know. I could have got it wrong.
month.
I could have got it wrong.
It's been about a month. We didn't do a video last time through because of technical difficulties. So we are now catching up here.
We're gonna have so much content. We're gonna fucking like ram you in the butt with content. That's what
We're fucking up RAM. We're fucking up hard drives. We're burning GPUs just to push out new content for July. We are recording on July 18th, 2023. Good. A lot of stuff has happened since we last recorded. So fuck, man. This is like a big ass catch up / fucking like action-packed episode. So I guess we're just gonna get into it.
Fucking current news. Man. Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't know what transition. I just made that up right now. Made some breaking news outline. Let's go. All right.
What you got?
Threads, Blue Sky. That's the biggest two things that happened. Threads and Blue Sky.
It's like not even 6 weeks. It's been like 2 weeks, 1 week since not Blue Sky, but Threads.
Threads. Okay, let's go with Threads real quick. Let's talk about Threads. Threads is good. End of sentence. What do you think about Threads?
Wait. I feel like we just went way into this. What are you drinking? What are you drinking for the visual and audio listeners?
Oh, sure. I'm drinking 95 Bullet Rye. I shouldn't be drinking all this. I should be making a Veru Carré out of this. But it's my baby bottle.
That was. I'm drinking the leftovers of a triple shot from Starbucks. Triple shot of espresso on ice with 1 pump of white mocha.
I just realized I left my Vietnamese coffee at my pops' place. Fuck. I just got some Ichiban Sando, the new Japanese sandwich place in Nashville City or Chula Vista.
That sounds tight.
It's pretty good.
That sounds tight.
It sounds really tight. It's not like $10 tight. Like a chicken katsu. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's just the weird synchronicity because this afternoon, we actually went to a Japanese bakery, and we had Renan grabbed a katsu sando for lunch. It was like pork. It's a tonkatsu sando, Japanese style. So it was like made fresh because they ran out of the sandwiches earlier in the afternoon. But yeah, it was like crispy, tasted like pork katsu. It was legit. So it was just kind of weird that it was like a wave that you actually got a Japanese sando.
Yeah, it's just called Ichiban Sando. It's not sponsored, but Ichiban Sando.
Not sponsored.
Down in Chula Vista, it's actually pretty good. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's actually pretty good. I ordered 2 sandwiches, ordered the chicken katsu, which is too big for me. And then I ordered the egg sando with Spam. I was like, oh, fuck it, whatever. I'll try it out. And so, I mean, I'm not disappointed. It's just expensive. It's $10.
Would you plug it on your Threads account?
Here's the thing about Threads. Like, I've never been a huge poster about random shit like that. Mm-hmm. I think that's the reason why I like Instagram stories and like Snapchat so much more because everything is so transient, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm like, I want to put my thoughts out there into the world because I'm aware I like have bad ideas sometimes. I have plenty of bad ideas. Like you didn't hear this before the opening, but I talked about some Oppenheimer shit. What I would do to that, and like that's a bad idea. If that happens, if like Erwin somehow clips that and like puts it out there just for like LOLs, like yeah, I say some like outrageous shit. Anyways, so yeah, I'm not sure what I have threads for yet. Personally, I don't know what to do. Like I've seen some people trying to market themselves, which I think is a good idea. I I mean that's what kind of like Twitter was anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But on my on my like creative accounts, I just post artwork and stuff I do up there. Like it's never like a status update. It's never like I
Mm-hmm.
went to the shower today and I took one. Like I didn't do like stuff like that. You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
like
I totally get it. I totally get it.
and like am I into microblogging? Like if I was Seth Godin, I would probably be a lot more into it. But I don't
Obviously,
know
you're
how
not
to
Seth Godin.
yeah. Like and I wouldn't know what to microblog. Like you want me to document everything I'm doing? I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. Like, hey, today fucking I cleaned the dishes 45 minutes. Shit was tight. Well, yeah. I wrote stuff in my journal today. Didn't do anything that I wrote for today. Yeah. Had to shift priorities around. Yeah. Like that's so like mundane stuff. It was like for marketing purposes, I totally get it. But yeah, no,
Mhm.
like just like until it evolves, like I think it's a good product. It's really clean. And then like the moment it evolves into Twitter is when probably people will start taking it more seriously. What about you? What do you use Threads for?
Well, right now I think it's in that weird kind of baby phase. I think the same because I was on Twitter really early, probably like 2007, whereas like there was no like true like brand promotion, there was no marketing. It was just kind of like uh people would kind of like be recommended to you based on location of like where you set your home to be. So right now
Right.
it just feels like that same kind of era where you're like you don't know what to do with it. And yeah, there's people who are kind of using it as kind of like this offshoot between Instagram, like what they're posting on Instagram and uh what a Twitter account would be, but less
Mhm.
spammy, less bots, and just it kind of still feels a little bit curated, but more for text and visuals. Whereas, obviously where Instagram, it's like visuals, videos, less about words. So I see that. Um, and also see um like people starting to position themselves of like, hey, I'm this artist, I'm this creative. If you see me on Threads first, like thank you for your follows. Like I see that portion of like the discovery, but obviously there's a lot of like beta flaws right now with
Mm.
Threads. It's like because it was up so fast. Like I don't like the algorithmic um feed. I just don't. I'm not. I've never been a big fan of that. I think when Twitter went to the algorithmic feed, I just kind of like what's the point? I want to see things in real time. So now it's like the same thing with Threads. Like there's no chronological, so everything's just kind of like, hey, this was posted 9 hours ago. I'm like, no, I want. What were you doing? What were you posting like within the last 30 minutes or whatnot? So that's part of it, and just kind of like the people like the people I follow were obviously the people I follow from Instagram. So it's just kind of like they're also trying to figure themselves out, figure the app out. So it's just a matter of like, yeah, it's just kind of like you're the first person at like a bar or a
Mm.
club, and you're just kind of like waiting for for something because it's just kind of like it's kind of boring right now.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's really really fair. I can fuck with that. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, I don't know what to use Threads for yet. Uh, it seems like marketing. I don't know how to engage with people just yet, just because like I care very little. I care very little about people. So I'm just like I just don't care about celebrities. I don't care about like the bigger like I'll read what like my favorite journalists do on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm just like, that's cool because like they can like engage an audience and like I just don't have that, so I have no reason to engage, I guess. I mean, that'd be cool, but if there's ever a situation where we're like, Jay, what the fuck's your opinion on this shit? And I'm like, I have to. Oh, okay. I guess I got to write an opinion about something. But I'm like, I'm not at that level yet, so it just never really concerned me, and I just don't want that fire sometimes. I don't want that online presence fire, even though like we get it sometimes, which is like really mild. But we get it. I'm just like,
it's mild, but we do get
so
it.
Mild.
It's so.
But I like.
Mild.
I mean, yeah, it's so mild that it's like, oh, okay, well, I can make a point real quick, and then boop, boop, we just dip out, kind of thing. So, but yeah, no, Threads. I have no idea what to do it for, or I don't know what to do with it yet. I just what I see on Threads is what people put on their Instagram stories for some odd reason. That's pretty much what I see Threads for now.
That's like the greatest, like one of the greatest kind of points of like what Meta did with Threads is that you made it easier for putting like the tweet like graphic onto your Instagram stories because everyone was doing that. A lot of brands were doing that for memes and shit like that. So it's like they make it so much easier to share those kind of like thoughts.
Yeah, and you know what? Now that I said it out loud, like I should be doing that. I actually think that's actually much better. Which now that I think of it, I'm like, oh wait, that's actually a pretty good idea. I should be using Threads and Instagram and Reels and all of them together. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Anyways, yeah. So, what I like about the real time update of Twitter that Threads don't have is like, it's like. So I know we're jumping topics for a little bit, but this actually was really important for me at Anime Expo. Went to Anime Expo and there was just so much like details on Twitter. And then that's when the shit hit the fan where people couldn't read Twitter anymore.
That's right. That was the Saturday. Yeah,
that was
Saturday. Yeah, I remember that.
And then like that was the first day of AX and I was in line. I was like, okay, let me just see like, because I was at a booth, right? Because it was really bad the first day. As first day Saturday, you're expected to be terrible, right? I mean, and then I was like, oh shit, I should just see like what I need to look at because I'm at a booth. I just don't know what the booth is offering. Gotta go on Twitter because usually Twitter is like really important for me in cons because I can see like, oh, this exhibitor is doing this or they're doing this, or if you pay attention to this, you can get this, this, and this. So I don't have to like waste my time at like a certain booth for 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I stood in line for a booth for 2 hours and didn't get anything because I was in the wrong line. I was in the wrong line. I was in the wrong line. And I was the first person inside the building too. Yeah.
Get
Which is so funny because like a series of luck happened and I managed to be like number 5 person into the hall. And and I was in the wrong line the whole time. I was like, oh. This shit's tired. What am I line for? Genshin? I'm in the wrong line.
Shit.
Yeah. I was in the line for Genshin. I was supposed to get online for Honkai Star Rail. And when they told me like, oh, this is only Genshin. And I just looked at them. I'm like, I've been in line for like a good solid 2 hours now.
They're like, damn, our marketing went really hard and got this guy 5th in line.
I mean, I can't get too mad because that's like line mismanagement too. And like, you can't blame them because freaking AX always like understaffs their people. So it's just always a shit show. I mean, it is what it is.
God damn.
Anyways, yeah. So that's what, okay. So back to Twitter and Threads real quick. The reason why Twitter was so important is that Twitter updates you on when things start happening, whether it's a game show or, oh, by the way, they're premiering this at this area, or special guest just got announced, or Penny and Stocking season 2 just got announced. And like, that shit's so crazy. And like, that only happens on Twitter. That only happens on, I'm hoping Threads happen. Like, it's going to happen to Threads in the future. Like, I hope that starts happening soon. So anyways, yeah. So sorry, I just wrapped up Threads real quick. I have no idea what the fuck Threads is for, but I'm hoping it becomes as good as Twitter in the future. And you're right. I agree with your no algorithmic shit. Like I don't give a fuck about
It's the
what
algorithm,
ESPN
man.
has. The algorithm's like not great yet. But when it has the for you, not for you, but the chronological timeline, that's I think that's when Threads is gonna be sick. Anyways, yep, that was a thing on Threads. Are you on Blue Sky by any chance?
I am not. I don't think I was invited. Did you happen to get the invite?
So randomly, when I signed on my creative account, when I signed up for Threads, I was like, I'm bored. Let me see if I could get into Blue Sky. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna do for 2 hours online. So I was like, I'm gonna try to get on Blue Sky also. And like when Threads got released, like an hour later, I got into like Blue Sky, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? That's crazy. So I'm trying to get onto my other account, and like I still have yet to get like an invite on Blue Sky, but my other account has a Blue Skies account, so I'm just like, that's cool. But what the fuck do people use Blue Skies for? Nothing yet.
It's gonna have the like the worst right now because everyone's on Threads.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't think people know what to do on Blue Sky yet because like right now I'm on Blue Sky right now, and it's like in different categories. It's like, who are you following? What's hot and popular with friends? Well, guess what? I don't have friends, and I'm not following anybody, so there's nothing on my what's hot. It's a fucking picture. It's a meme of Vince McMahon talking about horror. It's called a wrong deer. I have fucking no idea what wrong deer is. Yeah. Anyways, I have no idea what the fuck. So that's where Blue Skies is at. I think Blue Skies is gonna be amazing once it gets into Activity Pub, but also like Threads is on Activity Pub too. Just like,
ooh, fuck, my bad.
Less.
No, but yeah, Blue Sky. I think it has promise just because it has one of the co-founders of Twitter. Yeah. So it has the, I guess the tech behind it and the spirit behind what Twitter was supposed to be, but it's like, yeah, it's not fun until you have people who you follow, brands, interact with already. So yeah, there's like nothing social about it right now. I think I saw like a Medium post like about a week ago now, or
Medium.
I know, but basically saying that if you think about it right now, this is like in the Google Plus phase, and I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of like we're all on it, but it's just kind of like we don't know what to fucking do with it.
That's true. That's true. Because like I think like you should Gary V it, like what Gary V's been saying about Threads. He's like, don't make it an or, make it and kind of thing. Like don't make it Twitter or Threads. You should make Twitter and Threads and just see what works. Like I think that's what like when Gary Vee like talks about like social media stuff like that, I tend to like listen to him because I think he's like kind of right on like 99% of that stuff. It's like you should just do it. I mean, you're marketing yourself to an audience and you can see what you can grab. Like for example, like my video on Reels like barely gets any views.
Okay.
But like let's see, something I posted on YouTube Shorts got 825 views in like less than 1 day, and then on TikTok it's like 872 or 877 like 1 day kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like, oh, it's the same video but posted in 2 different areas, and like one got 1 view, one got 800. It is what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of entertainment, this week Bob Iger of Disney was saying that he wanted to slow down releases pertaining in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well as the was it Star Wars?
Star Wars. You should.
IP.
Yeah, you should. I mean, I don't think Star Wars had that bad of a problem. I think, maybe. I think Star Wars, they could have slowed things down for sure. Because what, freaking Boba Fett Mandalorian and like Kenobi like was all within the same year, and I'm like, damn, that's a lot. Like,
Yes.
if you could do, damn, I wouldn't even say one per season because that's pretty much almost one per season. Because like I'm thinking about Secret Invasion right now, and Secret Invasion's amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and like I didn't mind She-Hulk. I know a lot of people didn't like She-Hulk, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like really wrong with it that bad. But maybe, yeah, you're right. Maybe the pacing, because I know definitely in the beginning when they had WandaVision, they had Loki, they had Hawkeye, all within like 1 year too. I was like, damn, that's a, like this is like a lot of shit to take in because it was always like
Mm-hmm.
Marvel, Star Wars, Marvel, Star Wars. There's like no time like to digest anything. There's no time for us to be like, all right, we need to like see this like a week by week kind of thing. And I think like they didn't want to Netflix it because I think someone said this, but it's not my philosophy on like the whole streaming thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that Netflix does their all the seasons in one drop versus a week by week that HBO typically does
Mm-hmm.
is that people don't make that content into culture. Like there's nothing for us to talk about like every week. I could talk about, hey, did you see all the Stranger Things? And it's just like, yeah, the shit was crazy, wasn't it? I'm like, yeah.
Well, I think
And
that's
I'm
what they.
like,
That's why like they slow played Stranger Things, right? I think Stranger Things
oh,
is one of the exceptions to the rule, where like they had to like let's do the HBO style of like.
they should. It's good because it stays in the culture longer. Like, could you imagine if you did Game of Thrones like
All
that,
in one,
the Netflix
yeah.
style, yeah, all in one.
Oh,
So it's just people are just gonna talk about like Game of Thrones for like 2 weeks and like call it, and that's it. But like instead, like people talk about Game of Thrones for what, let's say 8 episodes, like almost 2.5 months, and like that's worth it. Like that culture is like there. It's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then you know what? When you release it all at once, somebody's gonna pirate it and put it all in part 1 through 50. So I'm gonna watch it on TikTok anyway. Some Chinese gentleman is going to put this shit up and reverse it and then have it part 1 and 3 minute segments. And I'm like, oh, I watched the whole last series. So right now, for example, my feed right now was doing this for season 2 of The Bear. I have like one episode, like there's one episode of The Bear where it's just like part 1. And like, what the fuck? I haven't even finished season 1. I'm like, I'm intrigued now. So I'm TikTok's still gonna do it. They're still gonna release their content. Someone's gonna pirate the content and put it in pieces, and people are gonna watch it. I get it. It's a really good hook.
Bro, TikTok's wild. Like, so I think I've mentioned this on a podcast before, but I have 2 different TikTok accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Like one's a little bit more controlled, and one of them's my, all right, man, do what the fuck what you want. And like, it's crazy the shit I get on my other account. It's like, my God, fucking TikTok is like wild. And the other one, just like, here's business news. Here's tech. Here's what I did in Japan for 2 weeks. And I'm like, fuck you, TikTok traveler. Anyway, yeah. But yeah. So, no, TikTok's wild. And that's like the ultimate platform right now. Anyways. Yeah.
But yeah, just to wrap up on the Disney IP and Bob Iger's reversal of old Bob. Yeah, I could see I see it in two pieces, right? So there's the pieces where like it just conveniently he says it during the writer's strike and the SAG strike. So it's like, well, you can't really, the studios can't really produce those shows anyways at this moment. And who knows how long this is going to last, where it's going to affect production of multiple Disney IPs.
Yeah, like Deadpool 3. What the fuck? Seriously? They're filming and you did this shit and now they're on strike. I just saw fucking Wolverine in an old school outfit. I'm just like, oh my God. Anyway, God.
Yeah. So I did see that too. But then I also see like the lane of like, Yeah, because I like there was so many like Marvel series that I like. Oh, that was so like within that last 18 months of distribution, right? So and then last like even when they did like Kenobi, it just felt like forced a little bit. Like it just didn't feel as cohesive, and it kind of like the confrontations with Vader and Obi-Wan just felt like it takes a little bit away of like their um the happenings between 3 and A New Hope. So it's like it kind of takes less meaning to it, and it's just like the final time, and all that. It just feels weird, and like in terms of like um that world kind of developing, and
Sure.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think Ahsoka is going to be really good. I'm also like a big fan of like Rosario Dawson's, and then we're and her cameo in I think Mandalorian or Boba Fett. I don't remember, but yeah, that's
It's in both of them.
see, that's what I'm saying. It's like they mix the IP so
right?
much.
Which one am I talking about? I don't know. I don't know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, so like yeah, the Star Wars TV universe is like because it's all like happens independent of like the Rey sagas. It's kind of like they're developing their own like they're fully developing like the Clone Wars and like the Rebels like TV franchise. So that's kind of like yeah, there's more to pull from that, and I can see why like Bob Iger would be like, yeah, let's slow down. We can slow play this in terms of like not burning out our viewers because we're having trouble keeping up with subscriptions and all that.
Yeah.
That's my final piece on it.
So Scott Galloway actually had a really good point on this. He said that it actually works twofold by having Iger like slow down, or was it Scott Galloway or was it someone from Puck News? I think Puck was talking about this. Anyway, one of the two. Basically, they said it works two ways for Bob Iger. One, it just cuts costs because, like, okay, we don't have to dish out so much shit right away, right? So
Mm-hmm.
one, it cuts costs. Two, like, it stops making things feel so forced. Like we can kind of just like sit and adapt to it for a little bit, and then like three, it's just yeah, like you can probably be a little bit more deliberate about like having either teams work together or because I feel like they had like a bunch of different teams on a bunch of different shows working all at once. So you couldn't get always like your best people on like one team kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why. I don't know. Oh man, I'm thinking about the writer strike kind of thing. Damn. Never. I'm gonna say some pretty heated stuff on it, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, everyone's expecting too much. So he just became like heartthrob to fucking number one enemy in 1 week. Which was tight. Anyway.
Well, yeah. So there's a lot of things going on with Bob Igerland in terms of like his little cluster, because not in totally like the entertainment side, it's like the actual like park attendance. But that's another podcast episode for a different day. Uh, so so let's jump to our main topic here. Or at least one of our main topics here. You were talking about cons and other like pieces of popular art and culture. Um, want to talk more about the con, it's the AX and the messiness or other things you're going to be into?
Okay. So yeah, well, our big topic was on cons. So let me talk about my AX experience real quick. I know we just we dabbed in it with Twitter a little bit, but Twitter was part of that story. Anyways, me personally, I'm like 10 years into AX already. So I know what I'm doing and I know what to expect. And I know what entrances to take and what entrances not to take. If you're smart, never go to the front entrance on day one. It's a fucking shit show. I don't know why people still do it. Everyone goes to the fucking front. There is a west side that people barely line up to that people can go. Know your routes. Know your routes. Go up the scenes. Anyways, Yeah, day one was terrible. Day one's always gonna be terrible, and it's on the Saturday. Of course, it's gonna be a shit show. You should expect it to be a shit show. You should also expect that line management is terrible. It's just how it is. And don't blame like the staff at AX. Blame the people who run AX. Blame those people who are like, blame those people who are like, you know what? We don't need to hire that many people. Cause you don't want to know here. Last year, last AX, I lost my badge basically on day one.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
I went up to the dude. I was like, hey, dude, I lost my badge. You need to verify. And he just gave it to me. He just looked at me. He's like, you don't have to say shit to me. I don't give a fuck. I am getting paid. Here you go, buddy. And I just looked at him like, sick. And I just went in. Like, I didn't have to talk about my sob story. He just straight up said, like, I'm still getting paid full. Here you go, man. Have fun at the con. Have fun at the con. And that was it. So yeah, no, these people at AX do not get paid enough. And you would think like you would need to hire more staff. And like, so they cut out tickets this year, right? It was sold out this year. It was sold out. But what doesn't fucking make sense is like, if it was sold out, why did the fire marshal say, oh, we're at capacity? Like, and I was just like, wait, isn't that the whole point of selling fucking tickets? Is to figure out. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. Why is the fire marshal? If we figured out this problem with like the ticket, capping the tickets, why do we need the fire marshal, right? At this point. But the fucking fire marshal told us like, hey, there's too many people. We're at capacity. Can't get in unless you have a female friend kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
what capacity?
We're at capacity. Get your smelly ass BO out of here. I'm just kidding.
Hey, did you see the Squirtle Squad I sent you the TikTok? Were they there? Were they there?
They were, but I didn't see them because That's
a very creative cosplay. I gotta give that a shout out to them. That was the first time I saw that shit. I was like, yo,
no, just
fucking sick.
AX cosplay is like top tier. Like
that was good.
Yeah. So I have friends this year. I went with like a lot of people who are really, really into like AX. Like, like they get stopped for like all the time when I was with them. I was like, yeah, this is the reason why I can't hang out with the cosplayers unless I'm cosplaying myself. And I have like an outfit for next year. But anyways, yeah, no, it's wild, man. Because fucking cosplayers are just so great at AX. I fucking love it. And it's just so good. Holy shit. The panels are pretty interesting this year. The con itself was okay. Here's what's interesting about me now. Like, I really noticed this with this year is that I actually didn't spend too much at AX because, like, one, I'm like probably the most because it's like we had an Airbnb in Inglewood because we had the hotel strike.
Damn hood. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, we had the hotel strike, so our group decided to get an Airbnb in Inglewood. Inglewood wasn't that bad, actually. It was just weird because like you couldn't park on one side of the street. That's it. That was the only thing that was really weird about Inglewood. It was like, Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday or Saturday through Thursday, you can't park on this side of the street, which is so weird because the streets are super narrow. That's why. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Anyways, yeah. So the only thing that I really spent money on was like Airbnb food and like alcohol. That's it. And Portos. That's it. Like those like my big three expenditures, like day-to-day expenditures. But so when I went to AX this year, I didn't buy any figures. I a lot of the merch I did get was like under 100. And then the only thing I really did spend
that's a good
money
haul.
on,
Okay.
yeah, a lot of it was like free stuff, or it was like $10, $15 kind of stuff, right? Like, and like I was talking to like some of the people at AX about it, like the guys like I was drinking with, and we're just like the guy kind of like looks at me, he's like, dude, you're really fucking like sophisticated when you come to like nerd shit now. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know, you just don't like look at titty figures and like call it a day kind of thing. It's like you're like a lot more deliberate about your shit. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like he's like when we walked by like the Good Smile company. Good Smile is like a toy figure company. Like you ignored like the titty figures. You ordered like the popular figures. You looked directly at this Junji Ito like statue, and you're like, I want that. And like none of us would have ever like sat there and been like, oh, I want this figure, that figure, that figure. I love that series. Blah 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 blah. right? Like you just straight up like looked through all that mess and said like when that Junji Ito figure or statue comes out like on order, like I want that. And like for them, like if you know who Junji Ito is by any chance?
I don't, but I'll vibe with it. Like I'll nod. I'll put an
Oh,
edit where I'm like, yeah, I know what you're fucking talking about. This shit's tight.
have you seen like he's really famous for like the horror mangas like Spiral and Uzumaki and Gil and
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Like if you see his work, you'll see it and you'd be like, oh
Okay,
shit, that
okay.
dude's like pretty good. All right. So like I said like I would want a statue of that in my I don't know, fucking coffee table or something. That sounds like a coffee table piece. And like you'd look at it like, oh, that's really bizarre because the girl is just like half her head's missing and it's just a spiral and it's just like her eyeball with like a regular face. It's bizarre. It's like really weird and like you wouldn't think about having it. All right. So, anyways, and then the other thing I bought was I bought a one of one acrylic art piece on canvas from like an artist who was at AX, but she was featured at an art gallery this year for like until the end of the month. So you can see her, go to Capsule Corner. Her name is Nemu Pan. She's a fucking great artist. And she did like 5 acrylic painting pieces for this art gallery. And I bought one of them like instantly. I bought the one of one and like I went to her booth at AX and I said like, hey, I'm one of the people who bought your stuff. Like, is there any chance you can sign it? And she's like, I can't go back and like sign it. It's and I was like, okay. So I took like one of her pamphlets and I said, hey,
Uh,
can you sign this for me? And I'm gonna like when I hang up the portrait, I'm gonna put it with it. And so she did that for me. She wrote like a personal message for me, and like that was fucking sick. That was fucking sick.
That's tight. See,
And
like
what's
making
funny,
those connections with like artists, like that's kind of like a good vibe of like, yo, like I'm
oh,
supporting
100%.
you. Like
Yeah,
you make really dope shit. Yeah, that's dope shit.
yeah. Like anything I have, like you can't see it now, but that wall, most of that has signatures from artists. Like the one in the middle, you can't really see it. One holding like a girl wearing like
Mm-hmm.
Nike Air Force Maxes and holding a
Yeah.
like I met her personally when she was doing her collab with Reebok, and like and she wrote like 2JV like for me, right? So all of them say 2JV, and like you can't really see, but I have like 3 others that are signed by different artists from Chile, and they all say like 2JV.
That's tight as fuck. Yeah,
So
that's tight. That's tight. That's tight.
that's like the type like so I kind of evolved from Prince. Like if I can get like that personal connection with an artist, like I want that instead.
That
I
sounds
want
like
the one
rich
of one
guy
piece.
shit, dog. That sounds like
I
rich guy shit.
yeah, that's the thing. That's what someone told me. That's like, because like it was so funny because when I met the people at AX I was going to this year because 2 of them I didn't know, right? 2 of them
Mhm.
I've never met, and like they're actually like cool guys from Seattle. But like one of them looked at me, he came up to me, or he saw me, he's like, "You look like you're gonna gentrify this neighborhood." And I was like, "What the fuck do you mean?" He's like, "You come in with like a leather bag, you're coming in with like just a V-neck shirt, you have like nice sunglasses on, and you're wearing like dress pants, and I'm wearing like plaid pants." I was like, he's like, "Dude, like, do you want like my insurance information or what?" And I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, I'm just like vibing. I'm just here to hang out with people and talk about anime expo stuff. We're here to talk about like titties and like anime figures. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. This is what we're gonna do. Anyways, that AX is wild. I met some really cool people, and like I'm at this point where I go to AX. Maybe I am like kind of go for like that rich person vibe because like it's so stupid. Like what's so stupid because like I get canvas pieces. Like I love canvas pieces. I love rare pieces, and I want to be like one of those people I know. Like, oh, I have one of the very few of them, kind of thing. Ugh, I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
but before jumping into our other topic about anime and all that, you're talking about I know previously in other episodes, I don't know if we talked about it actually on camera, but he talked about going to a Takashi Murakami show, and now he has one coming up, right?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna jump into that. Yeah. So he has a show coming up at the Asian Art Museum in San Francisco, right? So I've
Yeah.
been there before for a different artist, a different like a Taiwanese artist, and now Takashi Murakami's coming back there, and I'm fucking excited, yo! I'm excited. I'm gonna fly up to San Francisco. I'll be spend 2 days there. I want to hit their opening night. I want to get one of my Takashi Murakami stuff signed. I want my Doraemon signed by him. You remember that one, the Takashi Murakami Doraemon figure?
Oh, I thought you meant the shirt. I was like, I got the shirt too, but nah, I do remember the figure. Yes.
Yeah. No, I really want that signed by him. Like I need that. Like that's the thing I need in my life right now. Fool. I want that shit signed, homie. It's either that or the pin, the Takashi Murakami.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I want shit signed, homie.
It sounds like baller shit. Like you get a cup of canvas, drop 5 mil.
No, okay, so I'll be real. Do you so when I first started doing this, I started doing this over 10 years ago when I first started flying out to New York every other year.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, I used to fly out to New York every other year for either Fashion Week or for an opening of an art gallery. Originally is from an artist named Mister, who is part of Kai Kai Kiki, part of like Takashi Murakami's group. Anyways, I was actually interested in buying one of his art pieces, and but obviously at the time I was fucking still working at Starbucks. I couldn't fucking afford it because like I asked like, oh, how much is this art piece? And he's like, oh, it's like 1,000. It's like almost like 5 G's, and I'm like, oh, yeah, very nice.
You did that.
I barely make 15. I barely make $17 an hour at Starbucks.
You had to pause. You'd be like, you're like, oh yeah,
I that's an iPhone.
You're like, that's a great number. Yeah, let me think about this.
Yeah, what's so funny is that a student from like NYU who is studying journalism like talked to me about it and wanted to get my opinion. He's like, oh, so you flew up from San Diego to come to this art gallery? Like, what made you want to come out here? I was like, oh yeah, I fucking love like Mr. Adams art books and blah blah. And I was like thinking about buying those pieces. Like, oh yeah, like I heard they're going up to like 20,000 now. I'm like, oh yeah. My Celica's not even done being paid off yet. I only have like $3,000 left on it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So I'm not at that level of art yet. Like that'd be cool if I can have like a full on cos piece in like my house, like Pharrell. Like in the future, I don't know, but I have to stick with the local. I love my local artists, so I'll support them. Which is what's the trippy thing is. Like, sorry, I'm on a tangent, but
no good.
When I was talking to like the girl who did the art piece, she was like, "Are you that guy from San Diego?" I was like, "What do you mean?" Just like, because like they can't give us names, but they said, "Oh, we have a frequent patron from San Diego," and I was just like, "Oh shit, oh shit, what's up, dog? What's up? What's up, dog?"
You're that note in a very niche art community.
I know, that's so weird.
An art buyer, basically, dog.
Yeah, we have a freaking buyer from this area. Blah blah blah. That's crazy. He bought your art piece. Like not even like the opening show didn't even happen yet, and he already bought it. I was like, damn, why you gotta expose me like that, fool? Like
you got doxxed.
I got doxxed. I mean, they didn't say who I was because they're not allowed to. But I did say, because like I said it first. I'm like, hey, I bought one of your art pieces, and the girl was like, oh, you're that artist from San Diego? You're like, is a frequent patron there? I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. I got hot up. Next time I'm sending proxies. I'm fucking gonna start hiring proxies from now on. Anyways, yeah, so TLDR, when I go to AX now, you better have some exclusive shit because that's the only stuff I want nowadays.
Well, okay. So to get to our other topic here. So basically, going into like you're dressing up as a gentrifier, fashion stealth wealth. You get are you going to AX now? Like Roman Roy of Succession? Is that what you're saying?
Fucking, that's what Raison told me. Like Raison like looked at my outfit because I wore like a similar outfit to hang out with Raison. And Raison looks at me, he's like, what the fuck? Are you trying to be like Roman Roy from like Succession? And I'm like, what the fuck? That's so random.
Because I wore that same exact pieces, outfit. One of ones, start your own personal gallery. Okay.
Like,
stealth wealth.
God, this is another random story, but I was like having dinner at Richard Blaze's restaurant, the new one in San Diego.
Yeah,
California English.
Yeah, no promo. California English down in Sorrento. Yeah. Yes, yeah. I remember. No promo, no free promo.
I didn't tell you the story, but I was having lunch with friends over there, like on Thursday, and I was just wearing like a V-neck shirt, like a plain V-neck shirt, and like my pants and my loafers. Sorry, I'm burping. My suede loafers, right?
Okay.
I was just like waiting for my friends. I was just standing in line because it's hot, summer, whatever. I'm under the shade waiting for my friends, and like it's Sereno Valley. Like there are business people right there. You know what I mean? So people in suits having lunch and stuff like that. And like there's this guy walking up, and he like stops what he's doing, like stops at front of the store. He looks at me, looks like at my outfit, and he like looks like, yo, what kind of shoes are those? I'm like, oh, they're Cohan's. And he like looks at me, he's like, you're pretty well put together, like your outfit. Like, let me give you like my business card. Like I do men's fashion. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? And when I was so confused. I didn't know what to do. My friend was just standing next to me because we were waiting for another friend. Yeah. And she's like she just blinks and like turns around and just starts reading stuff on her phone. And like the guy who gave me his business card was he's from a company called, and they do like bespoke like suit pieces. Like I was like kind of curious, and I looked at the prices. They're all like $400, $500 custom like.
Okay, stealth wealth.
And I was like looking at him. I was like, he's like, hey, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm like in the middle of like transitioning jobs right now. He's like, and he's just like, he randomly hit me up like yesterday. He's like, hey, I'm in Sereno Valley tomorrow afternoon, and I have a gap between like my 12 and 2. You have a few minutes then for me to pop by? And like, I was just like, I can leave you on red. That's cool.
You're like, yo, yeah, Livy, I could step away from my consulting business from my fifth floor office. Get the fuck out. He doesn't know you have a podcast about nerdism with your creative friend.
I mean, dude, like, to be honest, the fact that he made that connection with me would like, in the future, like if I ever wanted to get like a custom suit, I would probably hit up that same dude. Like I'm just gonna cold email him out of the blue.
No, that's how you do fucking like.
That's how you make connections. Yeah. So
networking and doing that personal marketing. Yeah, so he gets it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you right now, homie. I'm not gonna expose you who you are yet. Just know that you made a connection with me, and if I ever want to get like a custom made suit, I'm hitting you up for sure. So. Anyways, this is not a promotion. I'm just saying.
No like, free promo.
I come across I come across the weirdest shit in the world, man. I don't know.
Like if it would have been a different story if you're like rocking, the new t-shirt. Anime T-shirts of the Pokemon Team Rocket collection, or
the collection's tight.
It's tight. It's tight. It's honestly like a very like a wide range and not just having a t-shirt with the R on it. You got the anorak hoodies, you got leggings, you got the vest is probably one of the best pieces in there. There's like pants. Look, it's just kind of crazy where with fashion, especially with Pokemon, it's like they know their markets. It's like the Gen Z, like millennials. So they're just kind of just being like, I give a lot of props to kind of like the brand director and like the people who run their kind of like merch, because they're like, just fucking do it. Like we don't have to just sell t-shirts, and hoodies.
Yeah. Well, you know what's a trip too is that now we're jumping into the topic. Like if you want to talk about the OGs of this, it's definitely going to be like early hype based fashion, Uniqlo and Bait are like the three.
Oh, Bape, yeah, Bape, yeah, Uniqlo.
No,
Bait.
With that. Bait. BAIT. Yeah.
I know Bait.
I mean, yeah.
Babe too, so but Bait, I see.
Yeah, like early, like hype piece fashion from brands from like early 2000s. Those three, I think, really like were the originators of like anime fashion, right? Because Triumvir had Blaze Blue collaborations. They had Street Fighter 4 collaborations.
Oh yeah.
Like they were like one of the OGs and like putting anime like stuff on shirts, and then definitely Uniqlo does it pretty much every season. I was like, that's just part of the lineup. Hey, do you want a Takashi Murakami? Hey, do you want a COS shirt? Hey, do you want a Spy Family shirt kind of thing. You want a Dragon Ball Z? You want a Naruto shirt? Here we go. We're fucking doing it. Demon Slayer. Here we go.
Like,
and what's so
yeah. Because Uniqlo has to be doing numbers if they're just keep on doing these anime collabs. I swear, like that's the only way. Yeah,
it's good. It's good shit. Uniqlo's always been solid, and they're just leaning into the Gen Z thing where I just sent you I sent you a video on TikTok about like an older anime head. Did you watch it?
I haven't caught up. But I will check it.
Because fucking my times on sending Erwin like TikToks is like 6:00 in the morning and like random parts throughout the day whenever I'm on my phone. Because like if I seriously like I wake up and be like, just make me laugh for today. Anyways, but basically what this dude said, he's like our age. He's like, remember back then, like anime was just so the moment you spoke anime in early 2000s, you were just made fun of, right? You're just that nerd who was into it. Now, like you hear people nowadays, like the Gen Zs and Plus who talk about anime so nonchalantly, like it's part of pop culture. Like people will start trashing on you for your anime taste now. As like
we've come a long way.
We've come a long way.
So great. I know we talked about this in previous podcasts, but it's great where we are now in terms of like nerdism in the zeitgeist. So it's great. That's all I gotta say.
And I want to echo his words again, which is just like it's up to us, like older anime heads, to like say, hey, let's not gatekeep that same way. Let's not say like, oh, you should be watching like Astro Boy or Evangelion or One Piece and blah blah blah. Like let them enjoy like Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, right? And Attack on Titan. I only said this because those are the new like top 3, right?
Yeah.
And like don't say like, hey, you should be watching your other anime. Instead of said like, let's just embrace it, man. Like let's embrace the fact that like anime is now like mainstream culture. So we should all be like, I'm fucking glad you like it, man. I'm fucking glad you like it. Like, and don't ever say like have you ever seen Evangelion? That shit's gonna change your life kind of thing. Like, don't do that elitism. Like, let's just keep elitism out of like anime the same way that it happens in typical pop culture and music and hip hop and stuff like that. So embrace that shit because nerds, this is our time.
Going back to other like pieces like where we are with anime and fashion, how like Lee, the jean company, the company that made pipes back in the day, they have a collection with Dragon Ball Z now. They have a Master Roshi shirt with just like the Kame house, super clean. God,
that's tight. Yeah, that's tight.
But I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't realize this is brand new. This is like released in May. That was really interesting. And then going back to hip hop and anime, how remember when Supreme and Akira did their collab, which
that's a sick collab, by the way.
It was a great collab. I just really wish it was less about the manga and more of the colors scene, like more of the anime and having their cells like colored. Because I was just like, I wish it was just more like incorporated. Because like there was other anime inspired graphic tees that they pulled from in previous collections or collaborated with that had full color and not just the manga. So I was like, oh, that's this kind of like where I felt with. But did you see how like Supreme is having their big sale? Like it's like really,
which is so random to hear.
It's really weird.
Like if you don't understand like street fashion for a little bit, like just know that when you hear that Supreme's going on like a big sale, that's like so random, right? It's like, huh? What? Wait, what do you mean? They didn't sell out? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, shouldn't I be paying $200 on the upsell for a Supreme shirt? Like, it's just like some disconnects, and I'm just like, interesting. Huh. Okay, I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. Thanks for selling out, dick faces. Anyway,
I will say it's probably
the problem now, or is it?
No, it's LVMH. I believe LVMH purchase.
Wait, LVMH?
it was sold to VF Corporation,
Oh,
which
yeah, exactly.
but which still owns Vans,
Patagonia?
North Face, Timberland, Dickies.
The only good thing on there is Vans. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Be a better team. Anyways, the guys who sold Supreme.
Yeah. So there's
Not
obviously more. There's more pressure in terms of like the people not wearing Supreme but wearing suits of like where they're going to hit their revenue goals and all that. So it's interesting to see from that kind of like grown up point of view. We're like, you can't just you can't just be living off of hype and limited release, but also project growth. There's that fine line that you can't. It's hard to what do you call it? Tread.
It doesn't work.
Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And like, I think Supreme is a good example of that. I think it's so funny because like in our past like podcast episodes, we'd always shit on Supreme before they sold.
I stopped shitting on Supreme because the shit's
we
whack
stopped
anyways.
shitting on Supreme. Yeah, it's just whack now. And it's just like, what's crazy is like that just proves that like, hey man, maybe it's better to be niche sometimes. It's fine to be niche. It's fine to be small. Just know you're never going to be a millionaire, but you're always going to be like culture. You know what I mean? You're going to be the culture. Like I still respected Supreme even though I hated them. But like what they like when I read that article that they're like having a sale, like a 40% sale on their merchandise, I'm just like, that's when you knew. Like, all right, everyone's gonna just move on to Human Made now. Okay, we're all gonna go to Human Made, and we're all gonna go to Pharrell's new Louis Vuitton line. Like that's where we're going now. If anyone can top that right now, then
the one thing I'll close out, or if you want to add one more piece about this little fashion segment we have is the hoodies and the merch that Louis Vuitton Pharrell debuted for Paris Fashion Week. It just looked like Minecraft hoodies and Minecraft pants. Like outside, I was like, I don't know how like creative this is. Like, granted, it's Pharrell. Like most of the things he does is like just bangers, but I'm like, he just basically came out with a collection that just looks like Minecraft shit.
Okay. Are you talking about the checkered patterns?
Yeah, the checkered pattern is specifically the green and brown one. I'm like, that's just Doug.
Wait, have you actually seen his line? Like his actual consumer line on website?
No, I haven't. I only just saw.
We're just judging off the show, the runway show.
Yeah, my reference point is only the Paris Fashion Week show.
Okay. I think that was interesting because it gave like a lot of homage to Marc Jacobs. Hold on. Maybe because Marc Jacobs did a collaboration with, speaking on anime, with Hatsune Miku on him. He made Hatsune Miku the model for Louis Vuitton. I think it was.
Yes, I remember that.
Summer 2016. Marc Jacob had a very big plaid, like kind of like a retro-y kind of thing. Like it kind of felt like the 60s. And like he dressed Hatsune Miku in a checkered pattern, like a big checkered pattern thing. And I thought like that's where I saw Pharrell got his inspiration from, but I could just be over. But his consumer Louis Vuitton line right now is actually like not terrible.
Yeah, I get like the point of these like fashion weeks and those runway lines. It's just kind of like the most outrageous kind of like out of the box for a lot of these fashion houses. So it just kind of like allows Pharrell to kind of like oversee like and have his input as a creative. I get that point. For sure.
It's creative. It's cut and sew. Yeah, it's 100% cut and sew. It's like, what can you do? Like, we would never see this from like a Yoji Yamamoto kind of thing, right? Like, he would never put his stuff really rarely do you see people that would buy stuff from the runway, but like those are like personal pieces. You know what I mean? It's like this is who I am as a creative. Here's what I'm putting out. And by the way, when I release my own consumer line, here it is. And like his consumer line's not bad. His LV sneaker is actually it's pretty nice. It's no ice cream, but it looks like a half-ass like Nike sneaker. But with Louis Vuitton.
But then, like, that's the stuff that Virgil was, Abloh was doing with Louis Vuitton and sneakers, like introducing more of the street, and it's kind of like Pharrell has had this long time collaboration with, of Louis Vuitton, so it all makes sense of how they want to proceed in the future. But
sure. So, do you think Virgil was a good? Do you think Pharrell was like the perfect follow-up for Virgil, or should they have gone a different direction? I'm just curious about that.
I mean, on a personal creative level, I believe
on a personal creative level.
Like there are other like designers who've been working at Louis Vuitton, or I obviously I can't name them off brand or whatever, but I just know that there's other talent that's been like committed to that type of work. It just felt like by getting Pharrell to do and follow up in Virgil's footsteps, it felt like they just needed the big name to kind of be continue this like relevance and appeal to new money. So that's where I just felt like that as at the core level. But I get it from like a business perspective. Like, oh, you just pull somebody who has like this kind of crossover already of like mainstream cachet and somebody who has really good tastes, and we can kind of vibe with that and take us to a different level where Virgil and Marc Jacobs, and I forget who was after Marc Jacobs.
I forgot who's after Marc Jacobs, to be honest. I really don't know, because like
my gut,
I never was impressed after. Yeah, I was never really impressed after.
My gut says it was Kim Jones, formerly of Supreme fame, because I think that's the reason.
Really?
I think that was the reason the Supreme Louis Vuitton collab came about.
Well, while you're looking it up, like I was just looking up like Kenzo's line, because I'm like, oh, speaking of like fashion or street fashion designers into like luxury fashion, since we're talking about rich money now, I'm calling this podcast Rich Money. Anyways,
Stealth wealth
street. See, because that's what I was kind of curious. Like, so the reason why I brought up Pharrell was because I wanted to know if like Pharrell might have missed that boat, and we're all now heading toward like a different fashion style, or what? Like, are we like, because like Gen Z is a little bit, it's about recreating the 90s again, and like bell bottoms and
so weird,
fucking jingles. I forgot. I fucking never wore them, but what were they called? Jinkos. Yeah, like they're going for like $300 now. It's so crazy. Like my like nephews and nieces are like raiding their grandpa and grandma's closets right now. I'd be like, oh yeah, this shit's so sick. Oh yeah, fucking they were so oh yeah, bell bottoms are tight. Yeah, baggy clothes. Oh, it's like it's sick because it's like pulling from 3 different generations, right? It's pulling from like hippies fashion, and it's pulling from the early 90s. And like I'm like thinking like, yo, that's dope. That's dope. Like, good for you kids. That's sick. So that's why I don't like gatekeeping, but like I hate like TikTok videos that talk about like I don't like gatekeeping. Like, okay, ignore I fucking said that, because the moment someone says like I don't like gatekeeping, you should fucking turn off that video. I didn't say that. I didn't say turn off the gatekeeping. So I respect like everyone's fashion, like the Gen Z's fashion style. I think it's sick. You guys keep it up. I think it's sick. It won't look good on me anymore, but yo, you guys do it. It's fucking dope. I fucking appreciate it. Also, I'm not spending $400 on a fucking Kenzo cardigan.
I was a fan of Kenzo and really familiar with Kenzo previous to Nigo. So it's just kind of like, to me, it makes sense.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah.
It makes more sense of like the way that their patterns and how they kind of keep that moving. So it's like, okay, that makes sense to me. But going back to just to follow up on our little real time fact check here. So in terms of timeline, so it was Mark Jacobs to about 2011. Then Kim Jones took over for Mark Jacobs then. So Kim Jones, formerly of one of the co-founders of Supreme, up until Virgil came along in 2018 when Kim Jones went to Dior.
Wow, so 7 years.
So yeah, and after
that's impressive.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
I should actually look up at Kim Jones's line, but I just remember none of it was like
none of it was
striking to me.
The only thing was Supreme. It was just the Supreme Louis. I mean, in terms of like, obviously there's more niche stuff like the actual like accessories line and all that. But in terms of I guess we're more talking about like menswear, things that are kind of more geared to men's stuff. Because obviously like there's women's stuff that I'm at least myself, I'm not really privy or not privy, but well versed in. So that's what
I love women's clothes. I don't wear women's clothes. Love the women's.
Because I mean, I will also say I think at the time that Kim Jones was the creative director of menswear at Louis, I want to say that the Fragment collab also happened under Louis, because I don't think that was a Virgil.
Can't forget Fragment. No, I can't forget Fragment. Fragment's top tier for me. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Fragment. Damn. All right. Before we finish up, I want to ask this question. If you were me, would you get a Maison Kitsune cardigan, Enzo cardigan, or a Comme des Garçons cardigan?
The heart one or the fucking regular one?
A heart one. So each of them are gonna have an emblematic, has like their emblem on it. It's either the heart, it's either the fox, or it's either the heart that says Kenzo on it.
I feel like, I think for your style, it's more Kenzo. But for me, I'd probably get the Maison Kitsune.
Damn, Maison Kitsune is so sick.
It's sick because the fox is really clean, and I think their whole collection is really like, it translates. Yeah, it translates to like Japanese kind of like basics, but really elevated and really done well.
I 100% agree with you. Like I'm kind of like stuck between like Kenzo and, you're right, I am stuck between Kenzo and Maison Kitsune. Like I think those are super sick brands, and like, yeah, I wouldn't know which one to get. And if I want like a luxury piece, it's either from one of those two brands for sure. Anyways, that's it for me.
Well, I think we're pushing almost an hour plus here, so I'm okay with just wrapping it up and getting to our final segment here of what you hype on. We can just be real quick, not too long. So, JB, what you hype on this July 2023?
There are some certain video games coming out for sure. Video games have always been a thing, and like if you guys know me, like I'm going through like a career transition right now, so that's also eating up a part of my time. I've been streaming, blah blah blah, doing a lot more creative work, so that's been giving me really hype. But the game that's getting me the most hyped, even though I'm playing a lot of video games right now, is fucking this one called Armored Core. And if you haven't seen it, they fucking revamped that series. That thing, the fact that like it's a little bit more open world and it's fast paced, and they're gonna make the difficulty harder. They're trying to make it like a Souls game now, but with like robots and like fast paced tactical action, is like, I think that's gonna be really sick.
I remember the original PlayStation Armored Core. Like fuck, that was it was a really good game, man.
It was a good game. It was clunky. It was clunky if you think about it.
Yes, it was clunky as fuck.
Yeah, but yeah. No, now that you speak about that, I just like cleaned my PS3 because it's my only PS2 compatible thing. And then like I was like looking at .hack sign stuff last night for like 4 hours. And then I gave one of my coworkers, my former coworkers, like the original 4 .hack video games on PlayStation 2. And like I was randomly on eBay and like
that's such a good fucking game
yeah,
series.
and like I saw a sign that says the most expensive PS2 games right now, and Dot Hack was one of them. It's almost going for like 400. Yeah, it's a that thing's almost going $400. And I was like,
the story's
oh,
really good. Like I know it was part of the anime series, but I was a stand
for it. Yeah, I was a stand for it. And I'll tell you right now, like the 20-year payoff was actually not worth it. You just find out that. All right, I'm gonna spoil it for you. Here's the whole thing about Dot Hack. Okay, the girl was an environmentalist, and she thought global warming was gonna wipe out all of humanity, and she thought essentially we should upload our consciousness and our physical bodies into a digital space. That was the whole premise of her theory, and like some twisted programmer like who was madly in love with her tried to follow her like in those footsteps. That's it. That was the whole purpose of Dot Hack, was to create an ultimate god and everyone to convert into the online world because of global warming. Dot Hack. I mean, that's like the underlying like lore, but like the stories about like isolation and like trauma is like actually what makes Dot Hack really sick. But
definitely.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching Dot Hack sign again because like I never realized like how much that person hated. I was like, oh yeah, trauma. Yeah, I see that all the time on TikTok now. I just see like burnout memes and stuff like that. Now, Dot Hack would be a good thing to watch nowadays. What are you hyped about?
Well, recently, there's a few things. Just real quick. Oh man, I had it fucking booted. Recently I fixed the iPod Classic. It's booting right now. I recently I upgraded the battery, and I bought a new Logic board. So I've been putting random things onto my iPod, so it's the click wheel. It's fucking working,
bro. That thing.
So I've been putting it in my car, listening to music and mixes from 2008. So
Oliver Ruffy.
Yeah, so I'm also posting on Instagram. So this was actually Rona's. I don't know if it's originally Rona's, but this still had music from 2010 and 2012 when we were like the early part of our relationship. So I was like, oh, it's not fully like yours. So I was like, but obviously somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, you thought it was mine.
No. But
remember you called me, you're like, oh, or you're like, is this yours? I'm like, I have both my iPods here.
So it was super hype. I'm like, oh, in 2023, I'm reverting to the offline music service. The other thing I'm hype on is Pokemon trading card game online. It's like really nerdy.
Wait, what? That thing's online?
So I didn't realize it till I was watching a TikTok live about a month ago that they ported I knew that they had the Pokemon cards online. But I didn't realize they had the app and you can create decks and play with people and matchmake. So they had the skill-based matchmaking. So I was like, oh, so it's kind of like, it helps me kind of like, it's kind of like nostalgic for me to play like Pokemon cards and not be creepy.
What do you mean?
Well, because like I remember growing up at like Artifacts and shit, like you would go into Artifacts as a child and play Pokemon cards, or like there's other like
grown ass men.
There's grown ass men there, dog. This is kind of weird.
Hey, little boy, you want to play Pokemon cards with me 1v1 on me? Hell yeah, bro! I'm gonna fucking beat you with my Gyarados.
I'm like, nah, that's why I'm like, now it's like, no, I'm that creepy old man. Like, oh no. So
I'll do it online. I don't have to interact with kids. I'll just do it online now.
Which is, well, like, I guess I'll give props to kind of like the software, because there's no chat function. There's just kind of like
perfect.
there's just
Perfect.
like they have like your avatar, and then you have a choice of like emotions to communicate, like
That's better.
like
I would rather do
good,
that.
bad, confused, mad, all that. Like, but yeah. So there's no
That's what Mario Party did.
yes,
And I just spam stickers.
exactly.
And I
Mario
just spam
Party.
stickers all day. I just
That's
spam
it.
stickers. Like,
So no chat. It's great. So it's like A plus. I'm just being a kid again,
Nice.
playing Pokemon cards in 2023 with my iPod fucking classic. Anyways, we're way over time. We're catching up over 6 weeks of content. Trying to be better about our content. Hopefully,
we had a lot to put in. Yeah, we had a lot to put in.
There's going to be a lot more content.
Reels.
So a lot more reels, a lot more
videos.
shorts.
I'm waiting for those. Erwin short form videos are fucking fire. I'm saying that right now.
So we'll have that.
Erwin's.
Then we'll have another long form episode in a couple of weeks or something like that.
We should think about doing like a live event someday. Just like inform all the homies. Like, hey, get on YouTube, talk shit with us. Or we'll get on like a public Discord and have the homies just like fucking go ham.
Fucking bro. We'll finally open up our Discord and be like, yo, come through.
Yeah. I'll be like, hey, come through, talk shit, whatever. Fucking everybody kick it, talk shit. It'd be funny. We're gonna bring back the Mara Mesa Discord.
We gotta go a little bit wider here, dog. So we try to get more than five followers. We try to get to our 1,000 subs. Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, please.
Like and subscribe, please. It's sick. Like, I know we said like, oh man, our haters and blah blah blah, but at the same time, it's like, to be honest, I like it. I like talking to people who disagree with us. I think it's sick because like Erwin and I are kind of like too similar, and I wish we kind of like fought sometimes about certain subjects, but like, it's just like we've been around each other so long that we just kind of get it. And I wish we had like more people we can like clash ideas with too. I think that would be really interesting too.
Or we just need another Arabic man who drives cabs and tells us to make strawberry frappuccinos.
Why did you, out of all the people in the world, you brought him up? I want the cold one. You get the strawberry one. I'm fucking okay. I'll blow you up. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, I'll get you yours. All right. I know no one gets that, and I swear to you, it's not bad. I swear to you, it's not bad. But there is a dude.
I think about it every now and then. There is like I have intrusive thoughts, like Uman or
Human, like Hudaman. That's how you said it. Remember? I'm like Human, like Hudaman. Like that's how he introduced himself to me.
No, I just rather think about that. Yeah. That's it.
I think about that. Intrusive thoughts, man.
All right, so this has been episode 53. We'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah. Tangents. This episode is called Rich Money.
Rich Money, Stealth Wealth.
That's not a real fashion trend. I know what kind of niche in TikTok
JB, we're going to burn our 120 minutes.
Oh, yes. We should. Okay.